Now, let's talk about the GMTW. GMTW is the short acronym we use for great manager to work with. So, who is working in BFSI industry and is in the age group of 34 to 54, that age group. Senior level, managing a team of more than 5 members. So, we identify what are the superpowers that they display, because we need to deep dive into their minds. We need to figure out how they are, what they think, what is their mindset. So, we identified the biggest superpowers that this segment, again, this can be different for different segments of GPM, but this segment displays are managing and resolving conflicts. That is a superpower that they have. Then, of course, ensuring the right work-life balance and focusing on the development of their team members and others, focusing on their professional development. So these are the 3 biggest superpowers we have identified for this segment of the population of the great manager to work with. Now, again, it can be different for different kinds of great managers to work with. But let me first understand from you. Since you belong to this category, and we'll try to end this podcast by diving deep into your minds. What do you think are your superpowers?
Well, I think I covered a few points.
Yeah, just to close off.
I think
one is for professional development, you mentioned, that focusing on the development of
employee engagement, building a work culture, professional development, right? I think building loyalty and trust is very important, right? Which means now if I don't trust you, how are you going to trust me? Right? So if I'm giving you certain suggestions of improving your skills, right? You need to have that trust in me, right? So it's very important to have that trust. So
you are transparent. Is that what I'm saying?
Yes, I am.
You are vulnerable also. Are you?
Of course.
Like if you are in a stage, let me
Sure.
if you are in a stage where you are you have done something wrong,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you are embarrassed by that.
I'm the first person to admit it.
Is it? Okay. So you answered the question.
Yes, I'm the first person to admit it.
Because vulnerability creates that trust, right?
Yes. So, and that is the reason, again, at least I don't know boast about it, but yeah, the managers that have worked with, right, they've been working for quite some time.
You don't need to boast. I mean, it's a fact. No, that's why we are having this conversation.
These are facts, and that's the reason, right? Because I think it's important to, we call that open door policy, right? I think it's important to be available when someone is at the lowest, right? It could be professionally, it could be personally. Of course, there's a limitation to what you can do personally. But being available, understanding the pain areas and understanding the situation, and most importantly, a lot of the time, a lot of these managers come to me, talking about some individual who's, it could be a hygiene issue, or it could be a performance-related issue, or it could be anything, right? I always ask them, do you know what their situation is at home? Right? I mean,
what is
something
correct?
So, have you tried to understand why their performance, is it only because they've been doing well for some time now? It's certainly different. Have you tried to get more information
is the personal thing
on this? So once you start doing that, right, once you have that conversation with people at a personal level, right, or even at their level, right? See, what happens is, as you grow, at times you kind of create a distance, right?
Especially it's more senior you become.
Exactly. But which you can't avoid. But whenever I'm given an opportunity, when you interact with the team, you have to come back to that level and interact with them as someone who understands it, because we've all been at their level. Right? We've all started from scratch and we've learned.
So one more question. One more question.
Sure.
When you are down personally, are you vulnerable to your team in that situation also?
Yes.
It's a very important question.
Yes, because which means I have to share some personal information as well.
Yeah.
Which is fair, right? I mean, of course you can't divulge all your personal information, but there are certain things just to break the ice. I think it's important, right? And That's fair. I don't think it's wrong.
So that's your superpower.
I believe so. I mean, for me, as I said, it's important to build that trust and loyalty. Loyalty only comes from with
Right.
trust. So that's how my relationship with my seniors, right? Because I've been open to them personally, and they've also kind of shared that kind of comfort or transparency where I can engage with them at that level. So, as I said, I've learned from the best,
Perfect.
right?
Perfect.
And I'm just trying to give back.
Final question. Uh, is there a role model based on the superpowers that you have and what you told me right now? Can you imagine a role model belonging to historical world, mythical world, or maybe any industry leader, current, live, or live or dead, that you can kind of imagine? Okay, this is the role model. This is the avatar that has the same superpowers that I have, or you want to have similar superpowers as that individual. You can be a superhero also if you want to share anything you want. A few also.
Wow, I mean, now you put me in a spot, and I have to really think of someone. So I'm a Marvel fan,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
So I believe Captain America would be. I probably think I'll be much closer to him, or he'll be
Right.
much closer to me,
Right.
because he's someone who
Right.
he would engage people. He would be morally. He would take those decisions and always take the right decision and not take decision. I mean, he would not believe in collateral damage, right? So,
Perfect. Very true.
and in my real life, I think. There are quite a few people. If you allow me, so I think in my life, my late father, my late aunt. I mean, they've always been my role models growing up. Of course, I mean, most of us look up to our parents, and so my late aunt was a guardian, and she, I think, a lot of these qualities have come from her. Now I learn a lot from certain people personally. I mean, my brothers, my in-laws, my father-in-law, who's a businessman, but he's so down to earth that I aspire to be someone like him who can achieve so much and still be so down to earth. In terms of hard work and the dedication and the passion to work. I mean, I think I learn a lot from my wife, because I don't think I can match up to her energy when it comes to that
Amazing.
passion and that hunger to succeed. And finally, I think I wouldn't have been here, or I don't think I would have. You keep calling me a great people manager work with. I think a lot of these things that I've learned is from my immediate boss, Mr. Santosh. I think for me, he's my mentor, and I think I've learned a lot from him. I mean, I've been working with him for the past 6 years, and it's been a ride. There's been ups and downs, but I think observing him managing those situations, right, and taking those decisions, I think that has been the most best part of my career so far. I mean, just that observation, and I keep telling my team members that you have to be observant. It is very important in life to observe people and learn, get whatever you can, right? Because those I think gems that you can use and invest in your career and in your personal development.
Great. So being a great people manager is also about learning from your own family, people who have inspired you, your role models, your business, your work, your professional environment, from your boss. It's about constantly learning, knowing your role models, aspiring to be like your role model in certain aspects, and then striving towards that.